Hey, some of you recognize my little spot here, and this is in my dining room area. And this is right now at this stage of my life where I've been coming and spending my time with the Lord in the morning time. I just wanted to throw something out to you guys that I know when I go through things and I process things, that sometimes it's helpful to those of you. Many years ago, I don't know, I'm awful with years, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, I was really brought to a point in my just time with the Lord of really having to go through some finding out who I was in Christ. And I honestly, I really didn't even know about all that stuff. I mean, I knew it in theory, but as far as applying it to myself, I'd not heard just a whole lot of teaching on that, just really centered to that. And honestly, I started doing some Beth Moore Bible studies, and it really taught me this concept of really believing not just who God is, but who I am in Christ. And it transformed me. It did. I mean, it really, I mean, you ask some of my family members, I was like going around saying, I have been set free. I've been set free. Though I'd been saved as a child, I felt like I was like totally set free from just some bondage of thought things that I just believed, and then they affected my life. And so I really enjoyed that for many years. And, as I struggle with things along the way, I would just kind of rehearse those things. Well, it seemed like a few months back, some of those thoughts were just kind of creeping up again. And it's kind of like that ugly monster was getting back into my life. And it just seems like my thoughts were kind of going there. And I knew to take my thoughts captive, but I was struggling. So what I did was this. The Lord brought something into my life, which I've purchased some more for our counselors to be able to use. And it was just this little booklet called Freedom, Steps to Freedom in Christ. And one of our ladies that teaches our SALT class was using this with her class. And I kind of went through it and I realized, Lord, this is exactly what I needed. And so I went home and I said, okay, over the next couple weeks, I'm going to go through this thing just every morning in my time with the Lord. And it just kind of took me back to just reminding me who I am in Christ with the scriptures and praying these things and asking the Lord to deliver me from these thoughts. And the neatest thing about it was on the very last page, it goes through these, about 30 some statements that I would then say out loud every morning about who I am in Christ and who God says I am, and in different areas of my life. And I was doing this over and over and over again. And I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. I really did just sense the Lord just moving me through this bondage I felt like I was getting back under. And so, what I just want to say to you is sometimes you may have to go backtrack into some areas that, maybe you've kind of settled back into. Maybe your thoughts are going there again. And it was just so neat because during that process, one of our young girls came to me and she said, Miss Deanna, I'm starting to think some ways again. And I'm like, here, I've got something for you. And at that time I didn't have them. So I made some copies for her. And I know I'm not supposed to do that, but it was a desperate times call for desperate measures. And so she was going through it and I was seeing her post on Facebook and knew that she was getting some relief from that as well. And God just confirmed it for me right at the tail of that, where we had the Beth Moore simulcast, and she gave us this identity declaration. And honestly, I have been saying this every morning in my prayer time to God and to myself. And it has just been such a sense of deliverance from this. So I encourage you, if you sense yourself going back, slipping back into some old ways, don't let it happen. Get what you need to do. Get some of those old scriptures out that you used at that time. Whatever it takes, tell someone, have someone go through that with you, and just tackle those things again. And the Lord will give you the same deliverance that He gave to you the first time from it. So just a little thought that I've experienced. Hopefully it's helpful to you as well.